I spoke to you about the NWC withdrawing the report. The spokesperson for water in the opposition, Mr. Ian Hayles, has added his voice to this discussion. Let us hear what Ian Hayles says. Let us hear Jamaica what Ian Hayles said. Mighty God.
The KSAMC cannot do its job without transparency. How can councils address pollutions? How can hospitals prepare for outbreaks? How can you protect your children if this government hides the truth? I call on Matthew Samuda and the National Water Commission Acting President Kevin Carr to release all water quality reports immediately, resume attending public health meetings, and provide real-time updates to the public. Water safety isn't a political game. It's a matter of life and death.
It's a matter of life and death. Jamaica, I called Ian Hayles today and asked him to come and tell us what is happening. Because Matthew Samuda says, I don't know if Ian Hayles saw today, but Matthew Samuda is saying, Jamaica, listen to this. Listen to this carefully. I don't want to misquote them. Hold on, Jamaica. Just a moment. They are saying, Matthew Samuda is saying that, oh, I know where to find the story. Just a moment. Samuda is saying tonight to Jamaica that with what happened recently with the NWC and the KCMC has given Jamaica serious reputational harm. Mr. Hayles, can you respond to that tonight?
I would first let me say good night to your listeners and yourself, Andre.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to say to Matthew that as an opposition, we are responsible in the statements that we make. But if we see a situation as what existed in February, where coliform bacteria was found in the water, it would suggest to us that it's the NWC report that made such a report in the first place, that we have to warn our citizens, the citizens of Kingston and St. Andrew.
They're saying, Senator,
And
Mr.
the
Hayles,
minister himself, just by making that statement.
They're saying that
Yes.
you are very low. I'm not sure what is happening, but they're saying you're super low. Can you adjust your...
Okay.
Are you hearing
Are you
him better
hearing me
now?
now?
Yes, go ahead. You're using your
Hold on a
phone.
minute, I'm adjusting my phone. Just a second. Yeah.
Just a moment, Jamaica. Just give him a chance to fix what he's fixing. Just a minute. Let him fix what he's fixing and then he will be coming back. So Jamaica, there is now a war for water in this country. That's where it has reached now. a war for water, and the government is saying that the PNP has caused it serious international reputational damage. And as such, they have decided, Jamaica, to withdraw all reports about our public health water system because they cannot afford any further reputational damage. Okay? So that is what is happening. Probably I should just call Mr. Hayles. Let me call Ian Hayles, right? Probably it's best we can just call him and let him just speak. Would that work tonight for you all, Jamaica? I'm just going to call him and let him speak because he's not going to be here for long tonight. Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Hayles, I think we'll just do a phone call. That works for you?
Yeah. Yes, it does.
All right, turn off the system that you have around because it is giving an echo.
Okay. Are you hearing me now?
Yes. Are you hearing him now, Jamaica? YouTube, are you hearing him now? Yes, Mr. Hills. So Matthew Samuda
Yes.
is saying that he wishes for the NWC to discontinue sharing the information with the KCMNC because it has caused serious reputational damage internationally. What is your response to that tonight?
I think first and foremost, Matthew Samuda ought to know that the NWC does not belong to Matthew Samuda.
Mm-hmm.
And the level of arrogance that has been shown towards the people of Jamaica, especially in Kingston and St. Andrew,
Yes.
cause grave concern as we speak.
Yes.
And I think at the end of the day, I will ask him to let good sense prevail from the standpoint that he is paid by the taxpayers of this country.
Mm-hmm.
And the people of this country basically owns the government, or the government of this country reports to the people of this country. And I just think the level of arrogance by Matthew, it is not something that I think the citizens of this country can take lightly. It was the NWC report in February,
Yes,
which speak to the problems that we were having with the safety and the water quality in Kingston and St. Andrew. Now the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation is the body that is tasked with, in terms of the checks and balance, in terms of if, for example, your kids go to school, the water that they drink is safe. The water that you take a bath in, it is safe.
but it's
The
not just
water that
Kingston
you
and
cook
St.
with.
Andrew alone. All municipal corporations has a responsibility of getting those water reports from the NWC for each parish. Am I correct?
You're correct. You're spot on. But I'm saying that what Matthew is doing, and it's quite clear
Yes.
that he took that decision. It is quite clear by statement today that he took the decision that the people of this country should not get a report, a monthly report, that state if the water that they're consuming is safe to consume or if it is safe for the kids when they go to school to consume. It is, and it's a problem for us. It's a problem for us. And it's not just an opposition problem. I can't fathom the idea for a second that a minister of water,
Yes.
when the public, when there's an issue as what we found in February, you're going to look at the civil servant in the NWC and to give a directive that they should not attend the monthly meetings in terms of
protecting the citizens of this country, and you come now to tell us about international damage, reputational harm. When in the first instance, if the water is not safe for us to consume, what greater damage or reputational harm it
My
would be
God.
on the people of Jamaica. So I think what I'd say to the minister is let good sense prevail.
But
It's not something.
I don't think
It is.
I don't think good sense will prevail, Mr. Hayles. I believe they're using wholeness badness or government badness to hold these government organization at standpoint. And don't you believe where we are now? Shouldn't the KSMC be in a position to carry the NWC to court?
I think so, and I think they should, because it's in the interest of the people of this country. I've called my sources within the National Water Commission today, and I kept asking the question of everyone that I speak to today in management. I said, who made this decision? And the answer came back. Always the answer, the response were always the same.
The minister.
Sir, you should have a conversation with the minister.
My God.
So it was quite clear from today that it was Matthew Samoda who took it upon himself. I don't know if he got directive in other places, but it seems to be that Matthew took it upon himself to ensure that, and you know, Andre,
yes,
the NWC is 100% owned by the people of Jamaica. It's not a private sector organization. It's not something that belongs to Matthew Samoda. Minister comes and
ministers
minister
go.
goes.
My God.
Minister comes, minister goes. It's not about me and it's not about him. It's about the people of Jamaica and the water in terms of their health. And that's what we speak to.
So
and
don't you see this?
For them to take such a measure in stopping the civil servants from attending a meeting in terms of checks and balance.
Yes.
In terms of the authority which is put in place.
My God.
The legal body which is tasked with safeguarding the water that you drink daily. For you not to provide that report. For me, all I can say to the people of Jamaica tonight is ensure that you start boiling your water, because there's a level of secrecy over safety that is now taking place.
There is a level of secrecy over safety.
Yes. Yes.
My God. This is a dangerous road for democracy, Ian Hayles.
I totally agree with you. How can you not provide the company is 100% owned by the people of Jamaica. The government is 100% owned by the people of Jamaica.
Well, in theory, but based on practicality, this government is not owned by the people of Jamaica. This Holiness administration presently is not owned by the people of Jamaica, Mr. Hayles. This Holiness administration is owned by a few.
But you know, after hearing Matthew's statement, I would call on the Prime Minister tonight, because in my statement today, I didn't call on the Prime Minister. But after hearing what Samoda's statement is, I want the Prime Minister to now intervene in ensuring.
But Ian Hayles, can the Prime Minister intervene when the Prime Minister made the submissions at the Cabinet, gave the instructions at Cabinet? Matthew is not that brilliant, or Matthew has no power like that to do that on his own. I believe that instructions came directly from the Prime Minister.
But look, Andre, you know, when this thing came up in February, the Prime Minister and Matthew went down to somewhere in Montego Bay.
Yes, and drank water.
In St. James. And they drank the water from St. James. And I kept asking myself, now, if the water is so good in Kingston and St. Andrew. Why they didn't drink a bottle in Kingston and St. Andrew instead of going to Montego Bay to drink a bottle of water?
And going to Montego Bay to drink a bottle of water, now there's all probability of leptospirosis in the water.
Yeah.
But if this is a precedent that is now being set in the KCMC and with what has happened recently in St. Ann Municipal Corporation, I believe right across the length and breadth of Jamaica, there's going to be an instructions from the local municipalities by the mayors or by the offices, not even by the offices, but by the NWC, that they're not going to be cooperating to give over this information. Don't you see that as a very serious and dangerous road for Jamaica?
I see it as such, Andre, but I want to warn the MWC staff and I want to warn the management that you have a duty and a responsibility to the people of this country, where if someone within the political body, in the body politic, give you a directive that you know will bring harm to the people of this country in terms of their health,
yes,
you have a duty.
True.
You have a duty to ensure that you come forward and you make such reports public.
My God.
It is your right to do that. So, imagine, Andre, imagine if we have an outbreak tomorrow.
Yes.
And we were not proactive enough to get our hospitals, our healthcare sector, which is struggling as we speak. We were not, if we were not proactive in getting them ready to face whatever issues, outbreak that we may face going forward. So I think it's a matter of life and death, you know.
Yes.
The decision that the government has taken, it's a matter of life and death. And I'm saying to them, reconsider this decision.
So don't you think the citizens of Jamaica should be in a position, seeing that the citizens of Jamaica own the NWC? Can't the citizens of Jamaica take out a class action against the NWC?
Yes. And I am saying to the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation to move ahead in terms of making such a decision. Look, Andre, I can't understand the decision. It's like, what's next? Going to the Auditor General and saying, don't go over there, son, audit RADA.
My Lord.
To see what's going on in RADA. Don't go over there, son, audit that. No government or no country can operate the way that we are operating
presently
in a civil society.
So, Mr. Hayles, how do we fix this situation? What's your recommendation of how to fix this problem? Because I'm sure the NWC, people in the NWC don't want to be politically victimized by this government. So whatsoever instructions they have been given, they're going to take it. How then do we proceed?
I think on two things. I think in the immediately, we can't get these reports, and I'm going to say to every citizen of Jamaica to start boiling your water. That's number one.
Yeah, boiling the water is one thing.
Yeah. Number two is, I know things are tight in terms of finding the lunch money every day to send the child to school. But try and find it within the budget where you can buy a safe bottle of water if you can't get it to boil.
Mr. Hayles, did you hear your opposition counterpart, Philip Paulwell, speaking in the parliament yesterday?
Yeah.
He explained explicitly how things hard in the country. How the poor people in this country going to be able to buy a bottle of water when they can't even find food for the day.
Andre, I understand the situation, but it's another burden on the parents of this country. And I don't want to politicize what I'm saying, but the life of this government has another 90 days to go.
So you said they expire in 90 days?
Yeah, they expire in 90 days. And within the next 90 days, they're going to go to the people they're going to go to the people of this country to make a decision.
Yes.
And this decision is, I would want the people know that if the checks and balances in terms of your water cannot be made at the Kingston and right across the parish councils, right across the country, at some point they're going to come to you within the next 90 days. And you're going to make that decision when it comes to checks and balances, whether it is your health, the water that you drink, the list that you go to the supermarket with, because most Jamaicans, when they go to supermarket now, they find themselves putting back things on the shelf.
My God, I can
that
tell
they
you,
cannot
all myself can full 2 bag of supermarket these days.
That's what's going on. But the life of this government will expire in the next 90 days. And there should be no reason for any citizen of this country to not be able to see a report that directly affects the health and the well-being of every single Jamaican boy and girl, parents, grandparents in this country. It's not a private company that we're speaking about. It is the National Water Commission, which is owned by the people of Jamaica.
But I want to carry the conversation further. In a case like this, wouldn't the Office of the Public Defender stand up to defend the people of Jamaica against the NWC?
Correct, you're correct, Andre.
Wouldn't the Director of Public Prosecution be in a position to stand up against the NWC? To speak up? Shouldn't the DPP be ruling on a matter like this? What about the Office of the Utilities Regulation, the regulatory body of utilities in this country? Shouldn't the OUR be stepping into this matter?
And as I said, Andre, tomorrow, I'm going to be making some calls tomorrow. And in terms of ensuring that we can look at, and don't get me wrong, we don't wish to take this to court.
It has to go to court, Mr. Hayles. If them not plan to withdraw it, it has to go to court.
Agree with you. So I am of the view that after making calls tomorrow, we will then make a decision, an informed decision in terms of what's the next move or the next step. Because look, we're playing with fire. Not just water, we're playing with fire. And we're playing with the safety and the health. The healthcare system in this country is in shambles as we speak. We can't manage no outbreak now across this country. And for those that do the testing within the NWC, and if they got it wrong in February and they fix it in March or April, whichever month they fixed it, it would be so good if those same civil servants had come back to the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation and said to them, look, we have fixed the problem now, but we don't know if it's fixed or not. So there's nobody that is held accountable.
My God. My God.
Andre, I am asking every citizen. The first line of defense is our parish council. Is our parish councils across this country. Most Jamaicans see their councillors regular and they have those kinds of conversation. The parish council is a legal body.
But Mr. Hayles,
which is put in place to safeguard in the water.
Mr. Hayles, did you remember the Constitutional Affairs Minister speaking recently in the Parliament talking about pandemic and endemics? You remember that argument? And if there is a pandemic, it could further delay the elections. You remember that argument?
Well, I hardly listen to her, because I like listening to people that make sense.
Oh, you say she's not too sensible.
No, I'm not saying that. Those words would never leave my mouth.
But she hardly makes sense.
she might make some sense, but I like listening to people that make sense.
My God. But
Yeah.
I hear that the minister can't be found. He's not answering any calls. He's not busy. I hear that even mainstream media can't find him.
Who's that? Samuda?
Yes.
Look, as I said, look, I mean, you can class it any way you want to class it or slice or dice, whether it is government badness or the level of arrogancy
Mm-hmm.
or just being arrogant that Matthew display a lot of times. And
Mm-mm.
I just want to say, look, you're not in the business of self-serving oneself. You're in the people business,
Mm-hmm.
and it's people you're dealing with and the lives of every citizen.
Yes.
And you have to take this job serious. So I expect him to come out tomorrow and do one of his
Media
videos again
blitz.
and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, media blitz and say the opposition is mischievous and we can't be coming out with these kinds of report because it is damaging Jamaica's reputation. But
Mm.
and I've always said, would you rather look at the reputation on the outside or look at the reputation that will take place if the citizens of this country are faced with an outbreak and
Mm.
a health sector which is
Already,
under strain right now
I'm
are already collapsing because
I'm I'm
it's
I'm
basically
getting some
collapsing as we
breaking
speak.
news. I'm getting some breaking news tonight. As you talk about health system collapsing,
Mhm.
we're getting some breaking news. My God. And remember, it was the said Matthew Samoda who got the DJ at Area FM off station when she spoke about the situation at Negril. But I'm being
Yeah,
told tonight, Jamaica, that the chief medical Amber, DJ Amber, you remember when DJ Amber spoke about what is happening? I want to break the
yeah.
news. I have to break the news tonight. As we speak, Jamaica, the chief medical officer at KPH, Dr. Natalie Wiley, has resigned. The chief medical officer at KPH, Dr. Natalie Wiley, has resigned. Good night, colleagues. It with the deepest regrets that I wish to inform you that I've resigned as Chief Medical Officer of KPH effective last Thursday. I wish to thank you all for the support to me personally and to the office of the Chief, the Senior Medical Officer. As the technical leadership of the KPH transition, I crave your patience during this period. I will always consider myself a part of the public healthcare system as I will be operating full time in private practice. Best regards. Fed up that
Well,
Fed up that
yeah,
Mr. Hills.
yeah. And Andre, if I look at the Savlamar Hospital
Mm-hmm.
situation,
Mm-hmm.
if you should come to Negril and spend a weekend
Mm-hmm.
and something should be happening to you, God forbid it doesn't, and you go to Savlamar Hospital,
Mm.
it might take you 3 to 4 days to get a bed
Mm-mm.
or even longer.
Yes.
Or if you don't know somebody you can call to get you a bed,
Mm.
you won't get a bed. You'll be on a chair or you'll be on a cot in the hallway, in
My
the
God.
corridor for
My
days
God.
upon days. And I keep saying, Andre,
Mm-hmm.
I think every Jamaican as an opposition, we want to fight crime.
Yes.
But I keep saying the largest investment that this government has made in the parish of Westmoreland. We have everybody in Westmoreland would always know that in terms of cultural activity, we always go to the Landala Cultural Center.
Mm-hmm.
They have put over $1 billion on that one location just to build offices And I tell them, they say it's going to be holding area. It's not going to be a jailhouse. They have done the same thing in Frome, and they have done the same thing in Little London. And all I've been asking, wouldn't that money have better been spent for the people of Westmoreland, for the law-abiding citizens of Westmoreland, if there was an expansion of the Savlamar Hospital, in ensuring that every citizen that goes there
well,
can
Ian,
get a bed to go lay down.
here's what I'm going to say,
to
Mr.
deal
Hayles.
with your illness.
Mr. Hayles, I don't want them to take on no other project in this country. Because remember, Cornwall Regional Hospital, if them take on that, that is another 8-9 year project overrun. So wait until the People's National Party takes government. Then the expansion can happen for Savlamar Hospital. Reasonable?
I agree with you. You're reasonable.
So what is your final words tonight to the people of Jamaica with regards to this water crisis?
I would say to the people of Jamaica, the opposition is doing everything in terms of ensuring that your water is safe to drink. Number one. Number two is get on your megaphone, speak to journalists, speak to the media, speak to civil society, speak to your church leaders, speak to everybody. And let's put in place where the government can reinstate the wrong or bad decision that they have made to withhold these reports from the parish councils across the country. It is wrong. The NWC is owned by the people of Jamaica. And as I said before, from an accountability standpoint,
yes,
this cannot go unpunished.
True.
And the people of Jamaica will, in the next 3 months, they will have to give an account to the people of Jamaica. And I am quite sure that this time around, the people of Jamaica will send a message of hope and of change and of a responsible government that deals with your issues and don't hide reports that affect your health and life and situation in this country.
So you're talking about when you're the next water minister and I call you for the report, even if it is an extremely bad situation, you will be transparent with the people and let them know what is happening.
You don't have to call to the report. The report will be tabled so that every Jamaican can make a decision.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so
you have my word on that.
I hold you to your word, I hold you to your word.
Thank you.
But I'm not getting into the bangarang happening in Western Westmoreland tonight, because you owe me an interview for us to talk about the bangarang happening in Western Westmoreland. So remember that you owe me a midday connection for us to talk about that. All right?
I will, Andre. I will.
I hope you don't have no sweetheart and wife that needs to be framed. Have a good night here.
No. All right, Andre. Thank you. God bless.
God bless you.